Hi everyone, welcome back to day 5. Thought I'd add a banner this time because you know how much I love doing our maths lessons. Okay, we are moving quite swiftly on to problem of the day, day 5, orange and blue from White Rose Maths today. So let's just get that question up so that you can see it. So here we go, we've got day 5, orange, question 1. So we are told that there are 5 marbles in a bag. Ron has 10 bags of marbles. And then he puts one more marble in each bag. How many marbles are there in total now? Well, this sounds like quite a long question, but we'll think about what we know. We know that every bag of marbles starts with 5 in it. So every bag of marbles starts with 5 marbles in it. And Ron has 10 of these. So Ron has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Ron has got 10 bags of 5 marbles. But Ron decides to put another marble into each bag. Now, each is a very important word in this question because he doesn't just add a marble to this bag, but he adds one to this bag and this bag and this bag to all of the bags. So if he started with 5 marbles in each bag and he added one more to each, how many does each bag have now? That's right, so each bag has now got 6 marbles in it. So I'm going to label each of my badly drawn bags with the number 6 because Ron has got bags of 6 marbles. We want to know how many marbles there are in total. So that is all of the marbles in these bags. So we've drawn it out and can see that we have 10 lots of 6. What calculation do we do when we're doing lots of? That's it. So we do a multiplication. So we have got 10 times 6. Or remembering our multiplication can be done in any order. If we think, I don't feel confident on my 6 times table, but I know my 10 times table, let's do 6 lots of 10. And you'll be able to tell me the answer is 60. So there are 60 marbles in total in Ron's 10 bags. Okay, moving on to question 2. We have got a missing number question again. We get lots of these, don't we? So here we have 5 plus blank plus 4 equals 16. Okay, so if we think about this using our language of part and whole, 16 is our whole, but instead of having 2 parts this time, we have got 3 parts. One part is 5, one part is 4, and we need to work out the third part. There are a couple of ways we could do this. We could rearrange our whole question. Do you remember what we do when we're looking for a missing number? Something plus something, or a part plus a part equals a whole. So we would do a whole take away a part to equal the other part. So we could rearrange the whole thing and have 16 take away 5 take away 4 equals our missing number. Or we could say, let's total the part first. Let's do 5 plus 4 to say that these parts make 9. Then we could do our takeaway. We could do 16 take away 9 equals blank. It's the same thing either way you choose to do it. So let's look at this one. 16 take away 5, that takes me down to 11, and I've got to take away 4. Now I'm going to try and do this in my head because I'm quite confident now with my number bonds. So I'm on 11. If I take away 1, I'll get back to 10, and that leaves me 3 left to take off, and I know my number bonds, so that gets me down to 7. Same again, if we look down here and do it in our head, 16 take away 9. Well, I take away 6 to get to 10, and that leaves me 3 from my 9 to 7. If it's a bit tricky for you to use your number bonds in your head, you can draw out a number line, you can count on column subtraction, you can use your fingers. I really don't mind, as long as we're working and checking our answer. It does not matter which method, the method that is best for us. So your answer to that one, your missing number, is indeed 7. Okay, let's move on to question 3. So here we have got a toy train and a toy rocket. So our toy train costs £4 more than a rocket, and the train costs £15. How much does the train and the rocket cost in total? Okay, so again, we're not always going to be able to answer this question with just one calculation. We might need to figure out a couple of things. So let's have a look here. We've got a toy train and we're told how much the train costs. That's a good start, isn't it? So I'm going to put train equals £15 because I know that the train is £15. Now let's have a look. We've got a rocket, but I don't yet know how much the rocket costs. And then I want the total, which is the train plus the rocket. So I clearly need to work out how much the rocket is first. Now we are told some information about that rocket. We are told that the toy train costs £4 more than the rocket. Now this could sound like a bit of a tricky question because we think of more as meaning bigger, but which is bigger, the train or the rocket? Let's use our bar models to help. So we have got a train and we know that our train is £15. Now our train costs £4 more than the rocket. So if the train costs more, the train is the bigger number and the bigger bar. So I'm going to draw a smaller bar for my rocket. Okay, actually, let me just make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it better on the camera. So our train is £15 and is the bigger bar. Our rocket is a smaller bar. And we don't know how much the rocket costs yet, but we do know this gap here. We know that the train is £4 more than the rocket. So I'm going to fill out this gap here as £4. Can you think what calculation we would do with our 15 and our 4 to figure out this? If 15 is our whole, 4 is a part, what's the other part? We do a takeaway. That's right, it's £11. So our train is 15 and now we've worked out our rocket is 11. So how much do the train and the rocket cost in total? Well, now we just need to add up our train and our rocket. So now we need to do £15 plus £11. Well, I'm going to partition because I want to do a little mental maths practice today. £15 plus £10 is 25, plus another pound is £26. And it's important that we put in our pound sign when giving our answer, because if I didn't have that, what does my train and rocket cost? £26, 26 pence, 26 sweets, 26 people? I don't know. So I have to make sure I put in the pound symbol. Okay, well done. That is the orange questions complete for day 5. So let's have a look at the blue questions. Okay, so we're back to our marbles in a bag. They are put into bags of 10 this time. Okay. And then it tells us that 67 bags of marbles are packed. Now, I'm not going to do what I did in the orange, write out Ron and then draw them out, because if I drew out 67 bags, well, I just don't think I'd have room. But we know that it was 10 lots of before, or 67 lots of now, and we know that lots of is a multiplication. So I've got 10 marbles in each bag, and I've got 67 lots of it. Great. It then says that 3 more marbles are added to each bag. How many marbles are there in total now? So we need to change part of our calculation. We still have 67 bags, but each bag has had some marbles added. It's no longer got 10 in it. It had 3 added. So the 10 has become a 13. So we now have 67 lots of 13 marbles. So how many are there in total? We need to do our multiplication calculation. Okay, so we could do this using our partitioning. We could do 67 times 10 and 67 times 3. I think that could be a good method because we know that when we times something by 10, we're moving it up the place value column, aren't we? Or we're moving the decimal point 1 away. So I'm going to pop a 0 on the end to cover the movement of the decimal point, and 67 times 10 becomes 670. So 67 times 3, this might be a bit trickier. Let's try out our short multiplication practice. Okay, 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 6 is 18, plus your 2 is 20. So 67 times 3 is 201. So what do you think we need to do now with our 670 and our 201? This was 10 lots, this was 3 lots. We wanted 13 lots. That's right, we add them together. And I have lined them up so that I can just pop in my addition symbol and I can do my new calculation of 670 plus 201. So 0 plus 1 is 1, 7 plus 0 is 7, and 6 plus 2 is 8. There are 871 marbles. Okay, well done. Let's have a look now at this next missing digits question. So this time we have 2 missing digits and we've got a different operation. We're not adding anymore, we are multiplying. So let's write this one out. We have got 5 times blank equals 105. Okay, remember with multiplication, we can do it in any order and it will stay the same. So I have got 5 lots of something else equals 105. What could I do? What is my inverse operation to figure out 5 lots of what equals 105, or 5 groups of how many equals 105? That's it, we do a division, that's our inverse. So let's use our bus stop method for our division. 5s into 1 don't go because it's too small, so we look at our 2 digits. 5s into 10, or how many full 5s can you fit inside 10? 2, because it's 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 5 is 10. So I'm going to put the 2 on top of the 0 there. There was no remainder, nothing to carry over. So now we do 5s into 5. Well, that's just 1. Fit 1 5 into itself. So 105 divided by 5 is 21. So we now know that this bit of the calculation equals 21. Something times something must be 21 because 5 times 21 is 105. So now you need to start thinking about your times tables and think, well, which times tables have 21 in? Because we are looking for 2 factors, so numbers that fit inside 2 factors of 21. I recognise this number. I think I know it's in my 3 times table. So what I need to do is figure out, what do I times 3 by to make 21? And if we count along, we get to 7. So 3 times 7 is 21, and 5 times 21 is 105. I could have done this in a different order. I could have done 5 times 3 is 15, and 15 times 7 is 105. But this was our missing numbers here, okay? Right. Let's have a look at question 3. So we're back to our toy train and our toy rocket, but they've got different prices this time. Here we're told that a toy train costs 3 times as much as a rocket. And the total cost of the train and the rocket is £52. So how much does the train cost? Okay, so a hint here is we're going to need bar modelling again to help us picture this. Which one costs more, the train or the rocket? That's right, the train costs more. It costs 3 times more, or 3 lots more, than the rocket. But together they add up to 52. So I'm going to draw it out using my bar model again. I'm going to draw out actually the rocket first, because the rocket is just one amount that we know. Rocket. Now, what did we get told about the train? That it costs 3 times as much. So we're going to draw a block the same size as the rocket, but we're going to draw 3 of them because it costs 3 times as much. So still without any numbers, but just using our bar models, we can see that here is the rocket worth 1 block. The train is worth 3 of those blocks. So all of these blocks are of equal size. These are all the same size. There's one more thing left to label that we're told in the question, and that is the total cost of the train and the rocket. So the cost of this added to the cost of this equals £52. So where could we go next? Well, there's a clue in the fact that I said all of these blocks are equal or the same size. How many blocks do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. And if they're all of equal size, I can share my £52 into 4 groups to figure out how many are in each group. And another way of saying sharing, our mathematical calculation, is a division. So I'm going to do 52 divided by 4. Now, I want you to try different ways of doing that. You can use bus stop, you can use counting up, knowing your timetables. I know that 10 times 4 is 40, and that would leave me with 12, and 3 lots of 4 makes my 12. So I've done 10 lots of 4 and I've done 3 lots of 4. 10 and 3 together give me 13. So I used my 4 times table and counted up rather than dividing to count back. So I know that 1 block is £13 now, which means I know the rocket is £13. But the question has asked me about the train. So if this block is £13 and I've said that all these blocks are equal, this block must be 13 and this block must be 13 and this block must be 13. So I'm going to label them all. And I think we're getting very close to the answer now. Now I've labelled all my blocks with their £13, what can I do to figure out the total cost of the train? I can add up all of these blocks, or I can do 3 lots of 13. So you can either do 13, add 13, add 13, or 3 lots of 13. I'm going to do my multiplication and do 3 lots of 13, because I know that 3 lots of 10 is 30, and 3 lots of 3 is 9. Once I've added those together, I figured out that my train must be £39. So my rocket is 13, my train is 39, and altogether they are 52. Brilliant. And that is question 3 of day 5 done. I hope you're following along with these really well, and do make sure you're giving them a go. If you think you spot any mistakes or anything doesn't make sense, please do feel free to send me an email and I'll see if I can cover it again or perhaps help you out with that. Thanks everyone. See you again next time.